This meeting is being recorded.
Uh-oh. It is recording as well. All right. Um, welcome. Another day in the playground. Um, I mean, that dropped yesterday. Man, it was already late in the session. In total honesty, I managed to get late entries, even though I managed to close the last entry that I had. I managed to close when price was leaving the 45 area. This one right here. Uh, the entry that I had was this candle right here. When this candle was closing below this previous reaction, I went for this candle right here. I was using because I didn't want to miss, in total honesty, the move. I was using 30 pips in this entry. My stop loss, just for future reference. my my stop loss yesterday was on basically in this area right here. That was the stop loss that I had, and something that I wanted basically. It's a retest to that daily support. So I was like, you know what? I'll risk it for the biscuit at least 1 to 1, and I will have some sort of ideas if we're getting a rejection here. Man, this candle took a massive move. Then in no time I was like deep in profits. I'm like, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. The moment that candle started breaking the 50, because that's the thing. When price is moving to a certain strong key level, it moves. It can give you heavy rejection or can give you a heavy break below that area. In no time, in profits right there. So I managed to close that position. I managed to close that position with this candle right here. I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll wait a little bit more for a pullback. Then the pullback happened. Then I saw that the candles are rejecting from there. So I entered with this candle right here, the 49 area again. And the 49, those targets. Last night, basically, I closed another 75 in here. And then I had my stop loss and profits in this area right here. I was like, yeah, but whatever, overnight I got stopped out, and we already know what gold is doing, and it's a full reversal. If you can pay attention here to the daily candle, what are the options today? Something that I don't like I said, is trading above the 50. The 50 today, the news can easily hold in this area as well. This area right here is the area that I will be paying attention on, the 45 area. Trading below the 50 to the 45 as a form of pullback, I think before the continuation to the upside makes sense. Now, leaving that 45 again in this area specifically later on, in the lower time frames, we have a structure in this area. Leaving this area, I think the last frontier for that drop will be this one right here. So having sells, even if you want to be kind of early in the move, if you wanna see something leaving this area right here, give it a try. Small risk. Don't risk it too much in here, because at any given point you have rejections from these previous rejections. And I think that the safest and the best way to catch that move will be having a closing below this previous rejection. This 20 pips to the downside will be really easy. If we manage to get to this area right here. It's pretty fishy because we had the news, we have fundamentals today. I won't be surprised if price come back to the 46, 45 area and start reversing from there. Just giving you that specific continuation. Why that drop made complete sense to the previous area, because this area right here, it was the previous area of resistance, a strong area of resistance. So for the monthly candle, for the quarter, uh, for this quarter of the year, it's okay to have a certain pullback to this area right here and stay respecting this previous resistance price. This is one of the deepest pullbacks you may have in the market. And from now on, we may see some form of upside. Now, the main problem we have here is how the upside can play today. Well, really easy to understand that the strongest area of contention we have is this one over here, the 65 area. Now, do you really think that gold will move, $15 with CPI? And thinking that this is a full correction in price, and then the daily candle will be engulfed by this daily candle? It may happen. It won't be the first time that I see something like this, and I know that it won't be the last one. Like price reversing from this specific area, and this is why I don't like what is doing above the 50. I want it for an easy CPI. I wanted price to stay below the 50, but it's not giving me that specific idea. Now the 50 is acting as some sort of contention area, so I know that the CPI can easily be manipulated in a form that numbers can be bad or can be good. I'm sorry. Gold drop, but at the same time correct the whole move and start ranging inside this area right here. So that's why I don't want to get caught on the sells in this area right here until I have better confirmation. The better confirmation will be at leaving these previous areas of rejection, the 46. We still have a lot of time and a lot of opportunities to the downside. Don't get me wrong. The upside is, it is there. There's a huge chance for an upside today with the news, but there's a huge chance as well and a lot of opportunities for a downside move, because at this point, the weekly candle, what is the option for that weekly candle? Pull back from those lows heavily and close above the 65, or even engulfing its own high. Do you really think that will happen today? Do you think that will happen in the next 2 days? It may happen. I may be wrong. It may happen. Don't get me wrong. But in total honesty, the way the price action is looking based on the dailies, this looks like a heavy and deep pullback to a previous daily high. That's why I need to be really careful trading at the 50, 55 area, going to the 65, because unless this daily candle is leaving basically this specific high, we don't have any business looking for long-term buys. If you didn't manage to get into these buys from earlier on, at this point, CPI can give you the things in here. And the safest, right? The safest CPI will be when this candle is trying to turn bearish in this area right here, breaking its own low, which is something like this, for example, like that candle right there. You may have even a higher push now. And then the moment that candle is not respecting its own low, leaving this previous area of rejection right here, you have a huge chance going toward this area overall, ending something like this for that 4-hour candle. Why? Because at any given point, news, like I said, will be manipulated. Let's say numbers are good, gold will drop, but not because it will correct the whole move from the whole move to the downside. It may happen, but your job will be paying attention what may happen with the news at the low, that 4-hour candle right there. If that 4-hour candle is not holding that support at 1850, basically you have a huge chance going to the 46, to the 45, 50 pip to the downside right here, and you need to be really careful trading the news. You have no idea how many times we have seen the news being manipulated. Like the most can be short-lived, not a strong move, not a steady move, and it's because the simple fact that we're trading above the 50. If this trade was below the 50, then it's a whole different story. Why? Because the 50, 52, 53 can give you fake outs, and then all of a sudden price closing below that 50. This is becoming fake out, and all this area will be a whole correction again to the downside. I won't be surprised. The best play, that this is the way that I'm expecting the news to play out, is that this is my previous range, right? Current range is this one. So price, if it had this beautiful, and this is why you need to learn price action, if it had that beautiful move to the upside, why that whole move got corrected with this candle, with this bearish candle right there? Since then, price hasn't left this area. The option is, if you see something leaving impulsive this area right here, you have like 20 pips to the upside at the break of this 54. Basically, you're talking about the 56. Now price with the news gives you, this is the first case scenario. Let's say the price will stay ranging from now on between the 50 and the 54. Now, having a break impulsive above this area, we know that at the daily high from pre-New Year session, New York session breaking that high gives you a 20 pips easily to the upside. Now, your job will be how price can behave at the 56. It will be a rejection, like a candle going to that specific area, and then reversing, giving you a liquidity, closing below this area, and then price being trapped in this specific area right here. The first scenario will be liquidity from this area, correcting the whole move, going back toward this area overall. Now, the other scenario is, if you're not patient enough, then the other scenario will be rejection from that specific area, price going back to this area, rejecting, and candles closing like this, ranging and ranging for a long time in here, collecting, grabbing more orders, more contracts before the next move. The overall move still downside is a no-brainer. The downside is what makes sense. So news, if let's say news are trading in this specific area, you can trade impulsive below this area, and at that point, the only area of contention you have is this one right here. Other than that, leaving this specific area, and if the news first goes up, let's say the news goes first, they go up. This is for the news. If the news they do something like this, for example, news goes up, and all of a sudden that high is being respected, and the low of that candle start looking something like this, is doing something like this, that candle can easily start doing something like this. If for any reason we have a 5-minute candle leaving that 46 area, and a body of the candle closing like this, the easiest job you will have is wait for pullback, maybe 45, 46, and then at the break of the low of that confirmation candle, go for it, because that thing will bleed tremendously. Those are the scenarios. I really like this scenario other than looking for buys. I know the buys are there. They can play today for the simple reason that we're trading above the 50. Other than that, if it was trading below the 50, man, it's a no-brainer. It has to go down no matter what. But I do like the structure we have in this area, like this previous area of rejection, and this one, for example, this area right here. So I'm expecting kind of fake out, price closing below this area, and then it's going downtown again, at least to retest the 46. So anything that can give me a fake out here, I can easily try catching my entries somewhere here using a possible stop loss on top of that candle right there, and then going for the full range to the 46. Coming from the 50, 52, maybe 51, even the 50, going to the 46 can be an easy job for a downside. And at that point, I will need to be really careful of any rejection from those 1846 areas. Well, let's see. It's still pretty early in the session. It is looking like it will drop, but I need a little bit more of information. New York session is the one that can give you a quick push to the upside here.
Hey, Kerwin, if price actually does break 1854, and then will you be entering for buys, even if it's just in case if it's not a fake out?
I'll be entering if depending the size of the candle and depending the body of the candle. If it's giving me this, like for example, not with the news, but later, like having a push with the news, then come back, close below the range, then collect liquidity from here, and later with a smaller body, gives me a close above this area that I can use maybe 15, 20 pips. I will be willing to risk 20 pips. But if it's more than 20, I will have to stay away from taking any trade at this point.
I see.
Yeah, because everything is quite fishy. The daily candle, this daily candle looks like a full
it's
reversal.
in a tough position. Yeah, it's in the...
Yeah, it's a full reversal. And like I said, if this candle was trading maybe 45, maybe the 50, man, trading at the 45 will be beautiful. Why? Because you can easily place sell limits at the 1849.50 or 1850, and having a stop loss at, let's say, 1851, 1852, risking 25, but you're looking for the bigger picture at that point. Now, this candle is taking a breather again outside the 50, and that's what I don't like. Having a closing below the 50 will be better for me. Like for example, this move right here is quite fishy. If this move was happening with no news, or not even with the NY open, I'll be taking this position. If this candle is your support candle, this candle doesn't have any business breaking that candle right there. The problem is that I have previous support in here, so the move can be short-lived, and I have this 50 overall. So taking a trade from that area right there, going to the maybe 49, something like this, risking maybe 1-to-1 is not worth it for me, because it's just the beginning of the session. To be safe, something like this, for example. And I mean, for this area right here is a no for me. Those are the moves that I have to stay in my lane, and I have to set on my hands, because I don't like risking on something when the New York session is about to open. The hourly candle, look at the hourly candle now. That hourly candle is just teasing to go down, you know, to take those outs basically. But this area right here is the area that I need to pay attention.
Hey,
Kerwin, I have
Kerwin.
a question.
Hey, how are you, man?
How are you? You good?
Good, brother, good.
I understand that because we're early in the session and before the news, you're a little bit hesitant, which is obviously understandable.
Mhm.
But now, let's say you get 5 minutes closing and rejecting 1850 before the news.
Yeah.
What do you do then? You still wait for
Not
a
only
rejection
that,
at
for
1850?
example, this candle just did a plain and simple retest to that area.
Yeah.
If that candle breaks that low, you can easily do something like this, for example, and give it a try. You know, 5 pips, whatever, and you have a 11 pips to the downside. That's, you know, that's an easy one. And you may get lucky that you will get that specific drop, you know, in no time, maybe 5 minutes from now. Now price is going to the 49. You need to know that you have to secure that position. But you know, it's quite fishy. The move pre-news, it's always hard to trade those news. You know, pre-news, it's a mess. It's dangerous. It's something that you don't want to get caught on the hype of you know, selling something that may be just you know, grabbing liquidity pre-news. It's quite hard taking those trades. Like for example, that trade right there. This candle doesn't have a bottom wick, right? This candle doesn't have a bottom wick. It makes sense to give you a max pullback to the 51. Now, if it's giving you more than the 51, you know that this is becoming kind of fake out, and the 50% of that candle right there, it's, you know, it's already 10 pips, this area right here. So you need to know if it's worth it, if it's worth it to risk it for the biscuit, for example, having a 10 pips a stop loss to be kind of safe. But if that candle doesn't respect the 51, you need to be sure that you will be closing at least 50% of that position. Right,
why is 1849 your
because when
contention?
price is reversing from a specific key level, it tends to go 10 pips above or below, no more than that. Like for example, that candle is respecting the 50. If that candle is still pretty early in the session, we have rejection from hourly candles in this specific zone. So if that candle is respecting the 50% of that candle, makes a lot of sense, at least going to retest the 1849 before anything else. If it's giving you a straight break below the 49, then the next candle max pullback will be the key level, not the $1 above the key level. But this candle right here is the one that will need to give you that confirmation. You know, like respecting the 50%. In most cases, it tends to you know, pull back all the way to the 50% of the candle. Why? Because this candle is the breakout candle. This candle right here, the only problem you are facing in this area right here is that your 50, it's in this area right here. So that's the thing that I don't want. Why price is trading on the 50. You know, why price managed to close above the 50. Now pullbacks will be pretty fishy for pullbacks to break that 50 and give me a straight move below the 49. Other than that, it can mess with your trading plan for the day, because it's not fun. Look at that rejection right there. Let's see what happened here. You know, this is quite fishy. This move is quite fishy. I don't want you to be buying or you know, looking for buys. Doesn't make sense now. Just stay quiet. Just pay attention what price action is doing. This is the 51. This is the 10 pips below above the key level. And roughly this area right here is your 50%. Just watch how this 5-minute candle behave. There's only 1 more minute for that 5-minute candle to give you the move that you want to trade below the 50, going to this area right here. If it's not giving you that specific move in the next, let's say in the next 15 seconds, then you're done for that specific trade right there. That's the move you want to see. Now, if it's taking so long for that move to happen, you need to know this is your 50. So you need to be really careful trading in these specific areas, you know, because at any given point, that 50 can give you reaction, and that's it. You don't have any business holding a certain position if that candle doesn't give you a body below the 50. You know, those are the things that we need to pay attention on a daily basis. But
Good morning,
overall,
Kerwin.
every time the price, yeah, Give me 1 second. Every time, going back to your question, to be clear on this, every time the price doesn't respect a key level, the deepest, for example, the heaviest pullback right here, if the continuation is to the upside, will be the 49. If the continuation is to the downside, this candle needs to close the body of the candle below the 50, and then the max pullback will be the 51. Now, price breaking below the 49 means that price will come back to the 50, but no more than that. Look at the close right there. Now the option is that price, if it's going to go down for the rest of the hourly candle or the 15-minute candle, this high needs to be respected no matter what. And this low being being broken, the moment price is respecting the high and breaking that low is a no-brainer. It has to go to this area right here. When the news are around the corner, that doesn't happen so easily. You tend to get kind of fake outs. Yeah, go ahead, brother.
I was just saying good morning. How you doing, bro?
Morning, brother. Morning. Good, brother. Did you manage to get anything from the buys, Matthew?
No, I just went to bed. I enjoyed the win yesterday, so just
I did
no
the
need
same,
to
basically.
no need to push more, right? Just
Yeah.
wait for New York. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah. It's okay.
yeah, I don't like taking a trade now pre-news because it just it may give you a spike, but then it pulls back up and ranges. And I've just lost too many times trying to trade pre-news, so I just don't think it's worth it.
Yeah, I agree.
Let the news hit, absorb in the market, see where it goes,
Yes.
and then you have a good chance at like 10
Indeed.
o'clock or 9 o'clock, like NYSE.
Exactly. That will
Yeah.
be the best play. After every retail trader trying to catch tops and bottoms is tired from losing money, then the moves will happen really easy. But no, I mean, if hopefully this is just plain and simple fake out from the 50 and price managed to close below the 50, and then later for the news, price respect this area overall, this whole area right here will be the heavy contention area right here. Let me delete some of this because this is the previous hourly rejection. So price breaking below the 50 makes sense at least to retest 10 pips below the 50. But later will be interesting if this was a plain and simple fake out. The move will happen now to break below that 46, and then the news most likely going back to retest this specific area overall. But now what you don't want to see is price reversing. If you're looking for sales, or later, if you're looking for salt, you don't want to see this candle reversing from the 49, closing bullish above this area, because news can easily give you that push if it's rejecting that $10 below the key level. That's all. But it's fishy. I mean, we need to, in total honesty, in most cases, we need to wait for the news to be absorbed. At least the first 5 minutes after the news has been released, and we will have better information after the first 5 minutes. Sometimes you miss the move because the 5 minutes is just a straight move, and then all of a sudden you're losing your position because it's reversing whatever. But after the 5 minute candle close, with a substantial body, it is telling a lot of information. It's giving a lot of information. This high right here.
Pretty delicate situation right here, bro.
Yeah.
Pre-news at the 50.
It's
Nothing worth it to take. Like
yeah. There's nothing worse than trading at the news at a strong key level.
Yeah, it's a 50-50, bro. You can do 2 accounts, go one buy, one sell. One will work out,
Yeah.
I heard some mentors do that. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I had a mentor who did that. He was taking buys on GJ in one account and sells on the other one.
I know, bro. I meant your mentor, bro.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my mentor was like that.
But then only show that one account, which worked out.
The screenshot every day he was sending screenshots on a $5,000 account. He was making like $2,000 daily. I'm like, holy, this is the way,
This is the way, yeah.
By the end of the year, I'll become millionaire. Nah, man.
Easy, bro. With
hell.
$100 account, it's possible, bro.
Yeah.
You can do that if you have the skills.
Yeah, man.
Oh. Kerwin, bro,
Yeah.
what do you think about, like, because I'm basically expecting price move up before the move down, and with CPI, like from my experience, obviously you have more you have traded more CPI than me. What I experience, and with backtesting, CPI most of the time gives you whether it's move up or down, but gives you a move and then reverse again, you know, most of the time.
Yeah.
So I would expect a move up and then like enticing everybody, you know, retail traders, and then when they buy, you know, and then we see that continuation from the higher time frame and going to the downside.
Yes.
Only problem is the 4 hour from London for me for sales. Like,
yeah, the sales make sense based on the higher time frame. Doesn't make sense with price trading above the 1850. In total honesty,
yeah,
all we may have is push for today for the news. Now, doesn't mean that the news won't be able to pick up some sort of liquidity from these areas, but you will have an idea. And like I say, we don't need to trade the news. We don't need to trade before you know, before the news, because it can be depressing. It can be stressing, you know, holding position, thinking, oh, this is, but it's more like a 50-50 trade. At this point, if you pay attention to the 4 hour candles here, if this 4 hour candle makes its way all the way from the 56 area, that 4 hour candle, if it's pulling liquidity even lower from this area, from the 40, let's say from the 46 area, that can be a beautiful candle to engulf all this area right here. This is the previous resistance on the daily. And if it was because of price action, at this point, like for example, based on the hourly candle, I'll say, man, the moment that candle breaks that high right there, go full margin on that thing. Why? Because this candle right here is reversing from a 50, so it makes a lot of sense going from the 50 at least to the 60, right? Now the problem is the news. At any given point, this candle can give you rejection. You know, stay ranging in here. This hourly candle come back to the low of these candle right here, retested, break a little bit lower than that, and it's basically because of the news. That's the problem. That's the problem that I have here.
yeah, I wouldn't feel bad at all if I missed the buys, to be honest.
No, I mean,
I can easily miss those buys, but the sales, we're gonna get them.
Yeah.
If we get them.
If we get them, yeah. See, quite fishy. This candle closing outside the range, not top wick right there, and it's just a mess. It's just a mess. I at least managed to break above the 10 pips above the key level. This is news. Is messy.
Bro, were you streaming still yesterday when we had that late move on gold? Or no?
No.
Okay.
No.
Man, because it's the classic one, you know, I call the day and then next 30-minute, bro, gives you $10 move,
I
bro. It's
know.
always the same, bro.
Yes, I know. Yeah.
Next time I'm gonna juke around, bro, like, you know, come go.
This is the second. Yeah, this is the second instructor. Not 40. Yeah, 48 here. This is your second instructor. The problem is that we have rejections in here. So this second instructor can be counted as valid, as well this one right here. But price leaving this area will be a quick move, at least to retest this area. But it's only like 15 pips to this area. Yeah. Let's see. Let's wait. I like what this candle is doing, to be honest. I really like it. Hopefully it doesn't give a rejection from here all of a sudden. To consider this as a fake out in the little lower time frames right there.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if this 30 closes like this, you know, just breaking lows, breaking highs, and then with before CPI.
Yeah.
Just faking out.
Yeah. Wait. Let's wait. I'll wait until the first 5 minutes of that CPI. Because it's way too fishy. Way too fishy.
Yeah.
just a little bit more. Yeah. Oh, welcome, JTEX. JTX.
Yo, good morning.
Morning, Ansel. How are you,
Hi.
brother?
How are you, man?
Good, brother.
How are you, Kadir?
Great, bro. Great. How are you, man?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Oh, you got a
so-
mic now. Nice.
Yeah, I just got one yesterday. So I have a question.
Mhm.
Are you not gonna trade the news with the buy stop limit or sell stop?
No, I
Why?
don't. No, I don't do it. Because you know, my job is basically dissecting candles, and you know, my trades are based on price action. If I had to use buy stops and sell stop, I'd be guessing at that point.
So
And-
you recommend that we should trade after the news happen, or
That's the way
before?
I do it. Not that you have to do it, but if you know, if you wanna consider buy stops, will be outside this area. If you wanna consider buy stops, do it with this specific area. Leaving this previous area of rejection, consider the buy stops. Now, looking for sell stops, you will need to be really careful depending where the 30-minute candle close, because if the 30-minute manage to respect the 50, taking sell stops in this specific area right here, price goes 10, 15 pips to this area, or 20 pips to this area, you need to secure most of your position, because the candle can easily reject what was a previous rejection area in this area right here. That's why I you know, today I need to be really careful looking for sells. I need to be really careful looking for buys. And I have to wait for the news candle, basically. Because the daily candle can give me, you know, the safest entry will be when bodies of the candles are closing below this area.
Thank you.
No problem, bro. But if you, I mean, the way that I doesn't mean that the way that I trade is the way that you should be trading. No, you can do your thing. You know, you're in full control of your account. The way that I do it is because I look for steady moves. I don't look for those
Yeah,
quick moves like
I
10,
am.
15, 20.
I am in full control, but I don't wanna blow my account, you know. So.
Okay, then wait for the news. Yeah, then wait for the news. You'll be
Yeah,
Not
surprised.
even news, bro. I would suggest you just wait for the news to be absorbed, basically, and you get the easy move with NYC.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, if
gonna
you
be
do
an
buy
easy
stop,
one.
sell stop, it's just gambling to me, really. It's not.
Yeah, to
Yeah,
me,
people see Raja doing it, but the difference between Raja, bro, I mean, I've seen a lot of NFP streams and CPI or whatever. When Raja is in drawdown, bro, and buy stop or sell stop, it doesn't work out, he closes it. But how many guys here have the discipline to do that, you know?
Also, he puts aside, you know, just like he has money to risk. You know, he doesn't need the money. He has money, so he can risk $1,000 or 2,000 just for fun because he can. You know, if you're using your main account and you're putting your capital on the line, it's not smart in my opinion. But yeah, you can do whatever you want, really. The fun of the trading markets.
Yeah, that's why everybody loses, right?
Also when you're playing with news, you know, be really careful not risking what you're used to risk with the original you know, trades that you take. Always, I mean, you know, I will say, remember that when news happen, they can be heavily manipulated, and as well you get something that we know that is called slippage. Like, for example, having a buy stop here, price may goes to the 57, and then your order gets activated here, and you're risking more than what you're affording to lose. In most cases, the news are so fast, so quick that doesn't happen. The price moves here. Maybe your buy stop is in this area. A slippage happen, and the moment the order gets in, is getting activated in this area right here, and reversal from there is something criminal. It's something that you're not you know, you cannot hold that specific position, because entering with the slippage there, the candle reverse to this area right here immediately. If you're over risking, you are in a heavy track down, If before that move happen again to your entry, you'll be super panicked, super pissed off because your entry was supposed to be activated here and got left by 20 pips. Has happened to me. And that's the main reason I don't trade the news anymore. I wait for the news to give me that that specific continuation, you know, after the news has happened, after the first 5-minute candle on the news happened. Now, when you are trading in a strong move and a strong bearish move, a steady move, is really easy because you have resistance. Let's say you have a overall trend that is bearish on the higher time frames. Then news happen, it's doing something like this. Then you can easily have a sell stop there and go from there because you're following the overall trend. From this area, at least will give you, you know, 50 pips in most cases. But if you're not doing that, following the trend, like today, the overall trend is this one. We are getting a full correction in price. Now trading sells doesn't make sense because can be really dangerous. Look at that drop. Right
okay, if for example we have like the news as a fake out, you know, giving some bullish signals, then grab all that liquidity and go back to the original trend. So yeah, that can happen too, right?
Yeah, that's what usually happen. That's what usually happen. Like for example, today, like I said, I won't be surprised if price goes back to the 46, whatever, pulls liquidity from there, and you see price later on trading above the 54, going to the 60. But you need to wait for that thing to happen. Yeah. When the news are around the corner, the moves are not steady moves; they're just random moves, and you know. You will need key, magic keys, first of all, and price moving 10, 20 pips, close 50% and let the rest run. Because in matter of seconds, price moves and reverse completely. Yeah. If it was a day without news, all being sells. Yeah, me too. Me too.
Yeah, it's getting all the retailers and sells now to take them out.
Yeah. Closing later, closing below this 46 area makes a lot of sense for a continuation to the downside. Currently, nah, it's quite dangerous.
So you wouldn't take a long either, Kerwin? Let's say we see a crazy like liquidity wick. Would you take a long to the 1856 or so?
Like if that candle is doing something like this, like for example, and all of a sudden breaking that thing right there, then I will need to use a stop loss below this area. But the news are around the corner. So I know that the news can easily come back to this level before doing something like this. You know, taking a trade from this specific area, having that specific liquidity, the 5-minute candle doing something like this will be quite hard for the new 5-minute candle just doing something like this without retesting partially these specific areas of rejection. If that candle managed to close with the liquidity, closing bullish. If not, if it's closing bearish, there's only a new 5-minute candle for the news. So therefore, we need to be really careful because at this point, the main, depending how that candle close, right? Whoever wants to consider buy stops or whatever, the main candle right there, if that candle close like that, if this is a resistant candle, the moment price is leaving this area, you can go for it. And remember, you will need a stop loss like around in this area for the news, right? But if that candle close bearish below this area,
and where is your TP there?
My TP, the first one will be this one right here. If I don't have a body of the candle closing outside this area, then my my TP will be this area right here. If I have a body of the candle closing outside the 55, then the 60 is my next TP. If I had to try the news, whatever, but in this case, I'm not. You know, the only, I mean, this is the thing. If you want to consider something, if that's a valid resistance and this is a valid fake out right here, price will need to stay inside this area. Doesn't need to break above this this area. If you want to have something for buy stops, then long position will be something leaving this specific area, and at that point having something like this, for example, having a stop loss below this area. Overall target the 60, The first target, if price doesn't give you a break above, will be this one right here. Like price going to retest this area, giving you a ping only and not only not a body of the candle closing outside this area, then this is the first take profit, and you need to consider if this is worth it for you. That's the main picture right there. Look at that candle closing below this previous area of contention. Now this is the classic. If this candle is the classic fake out right here. If this is a valid fake out, no matter what, if Fadi is a cowboy, Fadi wanted to consider some sort of entries before the news, this is the area that he needs to have a stop loss right there. Why? Because this makes a lot of sense to become a fake out. If the fake out is valid, the low of this candle right here, no matter what, with the news, whatever, that low needs to be respected. If that low is not being respected, most likely the news will take over to the downside. But it's news, so we need to, man, really careful in here, really careful. But that's the classic fake out, in total honesty. That's something that you need to pay attention on a daily basis when price is moving a certain direction from London.
Hey, Kerwin, I
Yeah,
got
man.
a question if you don't mind.
Yeah, no problem, brother.
I was doing like my analysis at pre-New York, and as soon as I zoomed out on the weekly time frame, this idea popped in my head that considering that 1850, like we always struggled around the 1850.
Yes.
What if all this move on the downside was just a fake out on the weekly time frame to go back and pop to the upside and basically close above on the weekly close above the 1850? Is it the right way to think, or it's like too early to put this kind of theory on the price?
It will be really tricky, to be honest, because the main idea here, it's a long term. Now, if you look at the monthly here, man, that monthly still have a lot of continuation to the downside. I don't, in total honesty, I don't want to see a plain and simple rejection above the 50, like moves going to let's say to the 1900s from now on. All I want to see is maybe a 60 holding a strong resistance. It's quite dangerous when we are approaching basically to the half of the week. Like for example, today makes complete sense for a deepest pullback, and then Thursday giving you a continuation to the downside, and then Friday being, you know, just a rangy day for the rest of the week. But that weekly candle can easily close the way it is, and price just ranging in this area right here overall. So it's dangerous having an approach on a Wednesday. It's a completely different approach than having a Thursday trading. That's dangerous. That's something that we don't need to be digging too much into the weekly when we are trading in a Wednesday. The safest way to see the market, for weeklies will be on Thursday as well on Monday, because Monday will give you the continuation from Friday volume, and therefore you will have as well a possible continuation for the weekly candle closing on Thursday and Friday. But today, anything can happen today. There's no worse spot to be trading for price action and for the weekly candle than this specific level. News can make a push to the 55, 57, breaking that 20 pips above the key level right here, giving you the 20 pips above the daily high, and reversing and closing and ranging in this area. So it will be pretty tricky for the weekly candle. If the weekly candle managed to close above the 50, then I will say, max pullback will be the previous structure we have. And in this area right here, the nearest structure that we have on the 4 hours is basically the 41, 42 area. That will be the max pullback for a new weekly candle. But as well, I don't think the monthly candle, I may be wrong, but I don't think that monthly candle will make its way outside this 1880. We still have a huge chance for continuation to the downside on the monthly. So weekly, doesn't matter where the weekly close, it will be pretty tricky for you. Maybe next week, if we don't have a decent close below the 40, let's say this week, because at that point it will be pretty hard for us to trade based on the weekly. We will need to be really careful trading based on the higher time frames, and we may see, you know, just ranges. Okay, close, bullish right there. Yeah, pick liquidity from this area. That's quite fishy. Picking liquidity, the news, somebody tell me the news.
It was green, so forecasted 0.2% and it came 0.3%.
Don't trust that move. Don't trust that move to the downside. Don't trust it.
I took that trade.
Yeah. See how long it takes for those news to play out.
I closed it with I closed it at 1845.
Did you get any slippage?
Nope.
Okay, cool. Cool
Yeah.
then.
Did you enter before the news or you entered on the news?
Yeah, before. By
Oh,
stop.
okay.
Yeah.
It was no brainer, you know. Just
Afraid.
No brainer, bro. I don't know. It was a brainer, I think.
It was a brainer, yeah.
It was not a no-brainer. That was a brainer.
really? Why?
Bro, that's just guessing, in my opinion, at that point. With
Yeah.
news, it can go either way. I mean,
No.
after the new move is done, it's easy to look at it, but before that, it's just guessing. In my
Yeah,
opinion.
that 5-minute candle was so bullish, and I just put the buy stop sell stop at 1848. At you know, if you can look at the current chart, the red one, the red line one, and it just
Close
get
your
activated.
terminal now, bro. Close your terminal till NYC,
Yeah.
so you don't get into anything else, because it
Yes,
can
I will.
reject at any given point at this point.
No, it's done. I close it.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah, agree.
good.
Yeah, now I'd love to see a retest of the 50 later, and then we can
Yeah.
get a nice sell, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, if it goes down first, I don't expect to have a move to the downside, to be honest.
Okay. Let's see if that candle breaks that 46 area. It's quite fishy still. I don't trust this move to the downside.
Rather look
Yeah,
for
it's-
buys.
I will miss the move to the downside, but I will wait for that candle to close.
Yeah, it's
I will wait.
clear manipulation. I don't know if you remember this, Kerwin, that NFP that they put the forecast so low, so that the results will come out automatically good, so that they will push the dollar down. I am checking now the previous forecasts, and this is like very low comparing to all of them. So they were aiming for that push down. So it's
Yeah.
clear.
Yeah. Forward. If he can make it to the 46, that would be good. Because at that point, the last 2 minutes is what you want to pay attention on. I don't want to see this candle closing so strong in a bearish, because that won't give me the ability to plan trades later on. I would love to see this candle reversing completely and closing above the 46 in no time.
I'm literally sitting on my hands, Kevin. Literally.
Yeah, I'm just watching here. I do like a pullback to the 46. Yeah, that candle's about to close pretty strong. I would love to see that liquidity being picked up from this area and the candle closing above the 46, but man, it's quite fishy. It's quite fishy. That hourly candle's looking massive. Yeah. I missed that move. It's okay.
So if we close right here, Kerwin, this is
20.
under London low,
20 seconds. Uh-huh.
1845. So I mean, if we're not respecting London low, then we should assume that we're keeping downside or sell?
Yes. But this candle,
Yeah.
70 way too much, man. It's a hell of a risk here. The candle, if it's worth it, that's basically the 50%, roughly the 50%. Now the Wakefield makes sense. The problem you have here, and this is why I didn't want to consider anything that can respect the 46, because price can easily reject this area right here. It's not worth it for me. Based on risk reward, it's not worth it. Other than that, those 20 pips to the downside were pretty easy with the opening of the 5 minute. I missed the move, whatever. Yeah, it's okay.
To Max in the chat, the reason it went down is because they put the projected number so low, 0.2 versus 1.2, for a reason, so that it could print higher, just so that they can say that their inflation isn't bad, but obviously it is. But yeah, they just manipulate it.
Did you try the closing, Kadir? Oh no, you didn't trust this move to the downside.
No.
Okay.
Good
No one
morning.
else.
Morning,
morning,
brother.
boss.
How are you?
I'd rather just wait for NYSE at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took some sales.
Oh, cool.
Like 40 pips, something like that. Well, I'm not sure how many pips it is, but yeah.
Really nice.
Yeah.
I wanted this candle to closing smaller, in total honesty, to give me
Do you know what
that
it was?
specific wheel feel.
You know that 1 minute candle, that the first 1 minute candle, when it pulled back down to 45, I wanted to see if it's going to reject or push
the
back
45?
up. Yeah, the first 1 minute candle came to 45 and it pushed back up. But when it closed with a full body. Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
And then the next candle took like 20 pips, came back up, and then I took another 20 pips.
I'm not happy, Kerwin.
Nah, me neither.
I got in at 1852, right? And then when the 30-minute candle closed, like with indecision, I closed. I should have just left it.
Yeah, I had a position there too, but I tightened my stops and it just hit me at break even. I regret so much tightening them.
And now it's gone. So
yeah,
now it's gone. So.
But at least we should get the pullback up for NYSE. So you might get to the 45.
It won't give you a pullback now. No, it will be a straight drop.
We're gonna get the pullback to 45, Kerwin. Have faith.
No, man, it's not gonna give you a pullback. I just didn't want to chase that trade, to be honest. The pullback was done already.
I feel bad about it, you know.
Yeah. Now we'll bleed even more. You know,
I closed
but just for
46.
me, it doesn't make sense chasing that trade. Yeah, it will bleed tremendously. That candle breaking this specific area and leaving this rejection is it just means bleed more. Going back to the 30s most likely. There you go. It's just that for the sake of my the trade the way that I trade, I don't want to chase that trade. But it's bleeding. I mean,
if we close here, okay, and the next candle break the low of this candle, will you consider selling?
At this point, won't stop at least until I reach the 35. Trust. It's, you know, I may be wrong, but man, that's okay. Market was quite dangerous for me. Because this candle, if that candle gives me a better pullback, then yeah, or not a pullback, but that candle not closing with that heavy volume right there, but risking with that candle with that specific close. This candle right here basically is 70 something pips. So for me to be you know, on that specific trade, when this candle is closing like this, I will be using at least you know, to be safe, 10 pips above the 46. And from this specific area where the candle closed, you know, to this area right here is 30 pips, something like this, for example, closing, because price can easily come back to this area before the continuation. and I didn't wanna chase that trade basically. But it's okay.
Hey, Kerwin,
Yeah, man.
I was waiting for on 5 minutes for that thing. The price come back to 46, and I was about to enter on the flip, but it didn't happen, so I didn't execute.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because if it made the pullback, and after the pullback, I think it was okay to drive down.
Yeah. Yeah, and now every 5-minute candle will give you, you know, just continuation, very plain and simple continuation. But as price goes lower and lower and lower, is making it hard, really hard for anybody to catch that move. It's way too dangerous, man.
So maybe Kerwin, just an idea there, because we're in New York, like if we see that we're finding kind of support here, then maybe that would be a good call for longs, because New York session tends to, you know, like make a high, make a low, and then go for that high again. So it's possible that we go back to the 1850s. Like, we just need to find the support, obviously, but the session, like you said, is still early.
I don't think we're going up again, to be honest.
I think we just wanted because we missed the move.
Yeah, this move is classic. Look, this is the previous range. Now think of all this area right here, like this area didn't existed at this point. All this area right here didn't existed. That was basically the range that you had to trade. Now, why this freaking area was giving me close above the 50? Why all this area right here is trading above the 50? That what makes it really hard to trade. Trading above the 50. The only one that you may consider was this candle, the moment that candle is closing. If that candle is closing in volume, let's say 50 pips in volume, so I can risk to the top of the candle, maybe 20 pips, 25, then yes. But risking 30 and not even to the high of that candle, man, it is way too much for me to chase that trade. I have an amazing week. I don't want to ruin my week just trading this fundamental, you know. And it make the moment that candle closed below that previous support made complete sense for that continuation. But having, for example, from the opening of this candle right here to be safe, having this specific stop loss is a no to me.
Have a seat.
Bro, can you mute him?
Give me 1 second.
Guys, I'm heading off. It was good to catch up.
Take care, brother.
Take care, Dennis, bro.
Yeah, man, I've been busy, but next week I'm back online.
Did you catch some, bro?
Yeah, I'll post it now.
Nice, bro, nice.
You didn't have any runners? You don't have any runners?
I did, but it got stopped out on a pullback.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
yeah. This is the overall target. This is the, you know, the rejection is this one right here. Not having a closing below that area makes makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I respected London 4-hour low there.
Don't have a seat on the purple.
So.
Sit.
All right, take care, guys.
Okay, brother.
Take care, Dennis, bro.
Take care.
So yeah, that's why this candle, I was, you know, I have my numbers, and the moment this freaking candle closed like that, it was a no for me to chase that trade. Like I said, this candle closing with less volume, maybe 50 pips, yeah, I can give it a try. But man, this candle, freaking crazy candle right here.
Man, I would have loved to see that week up and then down, you know. Then I would full margin that.
Yes, exactly. Like a pullback first, and then that candle breaking its own low. That would be beautiful.
That would be the ideal.
Yeah, entering here to be safe. In total honesty, the safest trade will be on top of that candle right there, because pullback makes a lot of sense to this area, and even to the area that price was left with the news, which is this one right here. And risking 30 pips for me, no, man. With the news, no. You know, I can risk 30, don't get me wrong, if I'm risking the 30 to the top of the candle, because it will give me plenty of time to close 50% if price is breaking this area. But having this candle over here and price going back to this area at least with 30 pips instantly? No, thanks.
Don't you think that this could be a fake out to the downside and then going back to the range?
Fake out.
Yeah.
Look at the daily candle right there.
It could be a fake out actually.
Because we went back to the 1834 and like we see that we couldn't even go to 1832 and we wicked up. And I don't know, I feel like we're creating a small support.
Having
maybe
a
getting back to
candle, for example, the problem here is that candle closed above the 40, right? So having a stop loss in here, it's the only way to look for that specific entry. Other than that, if that's a fake out coming from and rejection from the 40 from the 4-hour candle low, then makes sense. But you will need you know, to be honest, not to risk more than what you're supposed to be risking on a day like today. I will say having a stop loss at the 39, no more than that. If this is a full correction in price, then yeah, but you will have, you know, basically a stop loss or something later on, having like, for example, NYSE, giving you rejection from this area, maybe the key level as well. And the only candle here is that 5-minute candle closing above the key level. But until that 5-minute candle closes, you don't have any idea in total honesty. This 5-minute can reject or can close the way it is. There's plenty of options here. And I don't like counter trending those specific moves. I will sit on my hands and I will wait until tomorrow, most likely, because at this point, price action is already messed up. It's completely messed up.
I agree.
Yeah, guys, it's completely okay that if you didn't take it, like
Yeah.
most of us didn't take it, that's fine. It's just price moving. It'll give you better opportunity when it's less crazy, you know. You don't have to risk 50 pips just to get 50 at this
Just
point. So
forget.
it's 1-to-1. It's not good.
It's not good.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see like 46 again for retest.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Going back to the 50s.
Yeah, even to the 50. Yeah.
Yeah.
46 would be a very nice pullback and then continuation towards again to 35.
Yeah.
Hi, Karen. How are you?
Hey, good, brother. And you?
Good. Oops, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you, brother.
I muted myself. Yeah, pretty good day for me, I think. It was a cowboy one. And
Oh, yeah?
It was a pullback for 1 minute pullback, 45. You looked at your, and as soon as you rejected that one, first candle, I've taken just and the stop loss above the $1 above the kilo,
Okay.
somewhere there. It was a very, I think, I kind of feel like anxious, risky. I was uncomfortable to be honest.
Nice. But I mean,
Like, I missed this morning's move anyway.
I really wanted a close below this area. This candle gave me that close, but man, freaking too much volume for me.
Yeah, to be honest, bro, I mean, not that I didn't catch it, but it could easily just reject and go up because that's what I've seen a lot of times on CPI.
Yeah.
You know, at the moment you enter and then it's not worth it. And then if you would lose, it would be a pain in the ass, you know.
Yeah. Imagine being in maybe 30, 40 pips in drag down instantly. No, man.
Yeah, it's
And
easy
that's
to say
for-
it's after the move, you know, to say,
Yeah,
like, oh,
that's the
you
thing.
know, like, look how easy it was. I would have had 100 pips, but you know, that's so easy to say after it's already done the move.
Trust me, I have traded way too many times CPI, FOMC, name it. I have traded everything in my life. And in total honesty, the volume in this candle is something that I'm not willing to risk on. It's way too much for me. any candle that in the 5 minute gives me a close below a certain area of contention and is less than 50 pips in volume in current market conditions, I won't be, I will consider entering. Now, if a candle is in current market conditions more than 50 pips, even if the candle is reversing almost to the 50% in its own retracement in the last minute or in the last 2 minutes, I won't be able to consider that, because that means that depending where is my entry, the lower the candle, like for example, I don't know if you guys get the idea. Like for example, a candle that is like this, for example, is news.
What is wrong today, bro? Everybody's going crazy.
This candle, right? If this candle is a 50 pip candle, it's a 50 pip candle. Let's say this is a 50 pip candle right there. I can enter maybe when to the top of this candle is maybe 30 pips, right? But what happened, that candle, it's okay to pull 20, 15, 20, 20, 25, most likely, but not going to the 30 pips in a stop loss, right? I still have 1-to-1 at that point, maybe can be a almost a 1-to-1, and a huge chance for that candle to give me a weak fill and extra change to the downside, like risking 30 to get maybe 20, secure the 1-to-1 when prices already give me the weak fill. And if I get a rejection, then I will have my stop loss nearby. So at that point, I'm not risking 30, maybe I'm risking 10. Now, if this candle, in the other case scenario, if that candle, instead of being a 50 pip candle, it's a 70 pip candle. That candle right there, it's a 70 pip candle. Hold on 1 second. Something like this, for example. That means that if this is a 70 pip candle, I have to risk from this area to this area maybe 50, which is in this case, and I'm only aiming for 20 to the downside. This is a no-no to me. This is something that I'm not willing to risk on the market on a day like today. If that candle is less than the 70, then yeah, because I will have like 1-to-1, or maybe, risking, just looking for this specific move from this area to this area. We're talking roughly, I would say 46 to the, is almost 40 pips. But entering here with a stop loss in this specific location, so I can hold that heavy pullback if price doesn't give me this specific move. And if price doesn't give me this specific move, if price is reversing to this area, I'll be closing 50. It's closing inside this area, or it's moving inside this area, I'll be closing 50. Price is moving above this area, another 50. And at the end of the day, I may consider closing my whole position in this area. But risking in this area like 50 pips, and at the end ending with 35 or 40 pips in loss, is not worth it for me, because in here I don't have this specific target. I will have to be really lucky to get this straight move with news. Usually, if you backtest the news, if you backtest CPI, if you backtest FOMC, you have the news move. Then the next move is to retest that high, and then a continuation, steady continuation. Today didn't happen. This candle, it's something that I'm not willing to trade. 70 pips in volume, risking 70 pips, risking 50 pips to get most likely 20, and getting a rejection from here and reversing completely because that's the nature of the news. No, man, I'm sorry. I'm not willing to risk it for the biscuit at that point. The only way you may consider that, it was a sell stop and willing to have a slippage at that point, because usually when you get the news, the first 1 minute, I don't know if you guys already know that, but the first 1 minute, where's this thing right here? The first 1 minute, no, let's go to the 1 minute first. When you have a sell stop, let's say you have a sell stop here, that sell stop doesn't, and you will see the stories later on, or ask your friend, whoever had a sell stop on gold. for the news. The news are happening in this candle right here. Most likely, if they had a sell stop in this area, you know, most likely that sell stop got activated somewhere here. At least 20 pips in a slippage.
Oh, Kerwin, I exactly put the stop loss there, and it I didn't get slipped. You know.
What broker you're using?
IC market. I can show you the screen.
Okay.
No, I didn't.
No, it's okay. I believe you. If you're telling me that you had a sell stop here,
Yeah,
and then your
it
whatever
get
your
activated at the same price that I.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
But I know that usually it happens. You know, it happens to me before, and.
Yeah, but it's I mean it's dangerous. Total honesty. That candle, the only reason I didn't consider that is because of the size of the candle right there.
Exactly. I mean, after the move is done, you see, oh, $10 move, it was worth it. But before that, bro, it's not like that.
Yeah, you name it. I mean, every CPI, every FOMC, every news like that is just a mess. That candle, yeah, that price is going downtown still.
Yeah, it's a long time ago, to be honest, that it's a one-side move on CPI. For me, that I saw it.
Yeah.
A lot of times there's a whipsaw back up, so it's just not even worth it, man.
So the daily is turning bearish, and if we can break that that daily previous.
This one right here.
Yeah, if we can break that.
Yeah, you have an easy job to the 30s.
Okay.
You have an easy job to the 30s. The liquidity on these dailies is heavy at this point. NYSE is the next time that you can consider, but look at that 4-hour candle right there. Let's see if this 4-hour candle manage in the next 3 minutes manage to close below this area. If it's managing to close below that area, the 4-hour candle will give you a straight move down, in my opinion. Hopefully later I can manage, you know, not need to trade NYSE, but I'll be looking for the 10 a.m. candle.
Normally 10 a.m. candle is no
10 a.m. Yeah, 10 a.m. is the continuation from 9 to 10, which is the NYSE. So whatever the 9 a.m. candle from 9 to 10 is giving you, the 10 a.m. will follow. Yeah. In most cases.
Lately, I've trading 1 hour time frame, and I was checking this previous one before the NY Open. Could you put the 1 hour, please?
Yeah.
And I was thinking, because previous one engulfing the other one, major support. And in my opinion, I was thinking in the beginning they come back, they come up, and then on the flip, I was about to enter, but I think to myself, no, we have a news, and in the news it could go up, could break the previous upper week, but that's why I didn't enter. But I was thinking it's about to, for me it was always sales.
Yeah, made a lot of sense. I mean, when I saw this candle after the drop, this candle basically, let me delete these drawings. When I saw this candle, this was the previous support, and when I saw this candle reversing with this candle right here, this one right here, reversing after that push, and this candle reversing, I was like, this is the area that the news needs to break. And I was literally just looking for price to break that specific rejection, because I knew that if that rejection is not valid, that will take over for the rest of the session. So I was like, you know, but
I didn't enter because I was thinking that with the news, the price could do this thing here and then come back.
Yeah,
that's why I didn't enter.
now it's depressing. Price most likely will range. It's respecting this area. As long as respecting this area, it will range. It's only like 50 pips in this area.
Yeah, I respected the 4-hour London low candle, and it probably will pull back up now.
Wow, that close on the 4-hour is switchy. We may see more of a pullback.
To be honest, bro, I don't know what you think about that, but I think NYC can maybe give even a whole reversal.
I'm thinking the same.
Yeah,
be
because
matter of
it
time if
wouldn't
we
be the
come back.
first time I see it.
Yeah, would be a
Think,
matter
like,
of time
all the way
if we,
back up to 1852.
yeah, not the 50, but the 52, most likely 47, 48 area.
Yeah, that's what I was
But if
thinking.
that, depending on how this candle behave, this low of this candle behave, will be really
Yeah.
interesting if price with this 4-hour candle manage, or NYSE manage to come back to the 35 and start rejecting. The moment is giving you rejection from that 35 again and having a body of the candle closing above the 40 and leaving this area will be a whole correction.
A correction back up to that upper range.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have
Because
green
they gotta
target.
get a piece of that cake too, you know.
We all do.
Yeah. In simple price action, in simple terms, for the 4-hour, for whatever, this is your support from the very lower time frames right here. The 4-hour candle is massive bearish, so we need to be aware of it. But if this candle is valid, this support, the next candle will break above this area right here, will close bullish, and therefore the maximum pullback you want to see later on after having that closing right there will be the low of this candle most likely. So NYSE will need to retest that low, but failing to give you a break above the a break below that low. But
What
that
is that,
candle,
bro?
It sounds like someone's playing wind chimes or something.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
What the fuck is that, man?
I don't know.
It's coming from Fadi.
There you go.
Oh,
Sorry, that was the lawnmower outside. My bad.
Okay, no problem, bro.
Hey, wind chimes. I was close.
Okay. As long you're not doing laundry things in the house, okay.
No, I'm entering lawns.
That guy already caught the gold drop, so he's out cutting his lawn so he doesn't overtrade.
Actually, I did not catch the sell at all. So I'm trying to get
Ask your seatbelts for NYC, you can catch the buys.
Hopefully,
Pretty early for NYSE, but I'll be looking for how this candle managed to hold his support. If it's not holding that support and is the 4-hour candle is breaking that low, you have a spare move, extra move to the downside. But if this candle has enough information to hold that support, NYSE can take over for the whole correction. Whenever, yes.
I want to ask you something about NYC.
Yeah.
Yesterday you were on the live on the IG. You said that normally you don't trade the first 5 minutes of NYC.
Exactly.
Can I ask you why?
Because at that point, if the previous 30-minute candle is bearish or is bullish, you tend to, even though NYSE will give you the continuation, the pullback is imminent. It's a must for NYSE in most cases. If you backtest every NYSE opening, you will notice that every time that NYSE is opening, doesn't matter if the move is going down, that candle will reverse first and then give you the move down with the 5-minute candle. And using a previous 5-minute as a stop loss on NYSE in most cases is way too much volume for you to have a stop loss. You rather sit on your hands and wait after the pullback is being completed and then the continuation. But it's quite risky trading at the opening of NYSE. It's way too much risk.
Okay.
Look at that freaking.
There you go, baby girl.
And I didn't want to take that entry, to be honest.
Easy one.
Did anyone enter longs?
That was an easy
You?
one, boys.
Yeah,
I'm the only one? Impossible.
You're the only one.
Impossible. I'm
Yeah,
the
you're
only
the
one.
only
Man,
one.
on that one, you don't have to be scared at all, to be
No,
honest.
no.
That was cake, bro. Because I
How?
waited for that first minute of the 5,
Yeah.
and that
Look at
gave you
the-
that fake out where everybody
Yeah.
goes in and then closes their position on the pullback.
Yes.
Then re-breaking the highs was a no-brainer. bro.
Kerwin,
Yeah.
if we have a close right here and this new candle give a wick and break the previous high, we can consider like buying.
Yes.
I think I should
mean,
respect
no,
1840 now.
consider buying. You need to put a small risk, a really small risk on this trade. If you're looking for buys, don't go too hard on it. You know, remember, this may be a full correction in price, and we may see another full correction to the upside. This is classic. This is kind of the move that I was expecting to have in this area right here. This move is it's a beautiful move because this candle is giving you the support at this previous area of rejection, and this candle closing above the key level makes it really nice and easy for that full correction. Why? Because price now is finally rejecting the low, closing above the key level, leaving this area right here, means, you know, whoever is still holding sells, if he had any sells in here, means trouble for whoever is selling. Why? Because this candle can easily reverse completely to the 47.
Yeah.
NYSE is around the corner. That's the only reason you need to be really careful. But from now on, the price that needs to be respected is this low right here, the low of that candle right there. Now, are you willing to risk just to get a correction in price in here using 50 pips? Well, you need to be really careful how price behave at the 40. If the 40 doesn't give you a rejection and contention area, you don't have any business, you know, holding that position with extra 30 pips to the downside. But this move was really nice.
I really want to understand why Kadir took that trade, you know, before we had the close above the key level.
Okay,
look, because it's impulsive. Yeah, go ahead, Kadir, go ahead, take over.
Look, like I said it earlier, you know, that I'm looking for buys. The reason for that was basically because, you know, we had that impulsive move down, right? It came down impulsively. So what go? I mean, if you look at that 5 minute, that's a different topic now, but that's a full. You know, that's a full candle, breaking the lows and breaking the highs and closing bullish. That signals for me, okay, retailers got confused here, and a lot of people entered most likely sales in here, you know, and thinking it's gonna be an easy job to go to the 30 because that 4 hour was so heavily bearish. And what's gonna happen? It's not gonna happen what the retailers think 90% of the time. And when this 5 minute candle closes like this, I didn't enter here on the first break because most of the time you get a fake out there, and I wanted to see a deeper pullback. And once I saw this pullback right here, I entered here on the breaks, on the re-breaks impulsively, stop loss right here, and target was basically right here. So that was the play there.
Yeah.
But that's a little bit advanced, bro. Like I wouldn't recommend anybody doing that, because if you look at the 4 hour, fighting against that 4 hour candle, it's tough, bro. You really have to know what you're doing. Otherwise, it's gonna drop and bleed, and gold can make you cry, you know. And you're gonna hold that position and pray that NYC, you need a reversal, but it's not gonna happen.
And you wanna have a quick laugh? You know why I didn't manage to enter there?
Oh, you didn't take that?
No, because I was literally looking for that specific candle closing bullish at the support right there, and the next candle pulling back to the 50% of the candle and giving me the break. And look what happened here.
Yeah,
when
man,
that happened, I was this is basically the previous high that I was watching, right? When that candle happened, I was doing the explanation why the NYSE this and that, and when I saw the price moving, I was like, instead of, you know, from taking my mouse from one screen to the other one, I failed miserably, and this candle in no time gave me that push. I was like, fully, I just missed my entry, like 30 pips in volume here at the break of that 5 minute candle high. on this
I
area
got
in
even
no
slipped,
time, in
bro.
1 minute, basically, when all the way 30 pips in volume.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, I missed the move. I missed my entry. But
Bro,
it's
I got
okay.
even slipped, bro. I just checked now because at the break, yeah, my entry was like 4 pips in a slippage, bro,
I mean,
because it moved too quick.
yeah. If I wasn't doing the explanation, why not? I don't trade the first 5 minutes of NYSE, man. I'll be grab that thing.
Kerwin, brother, I
Yeah,
have
I mean,
question.
basically, it wasn't NYC, but it made a lot of sense, bro.
Yeah.
You know, because normally maybe like 1-2 months ago I wouldn't take this because I would really wait for that 9:30 NYC open, but this made it too easy, bro. Like it was a no-brainer at that point.
Retail trader will
Kerwin,
be.
I have one question, bro.
Yeah, man, $5, brother. Did you send it over? No.
Do you enter at the opening of the NYSE?
No.
If I enter at the open of the NYSE?
Yeah.
No.
Never.
Bro, he just ignored that, bro. Where are the $5, bro? Like.
$5.
No, it's a pullback.
But not in BTC, bro. BTC is bleeding right
not
now.
BTC, not Rebels. Just send
Dollars,
real
bro.
American dollars. American dollars, my friend. No, I avoid taking entries at NYSE because of the things that I said before. You know, like for example, let's look for a NYSE opening. NYSE, where's NYSE? Is this one my NYSE? Yeah, this one right here. So what happened? You know, this is the opening. This is NYSE. So full correction. I missed that move. I'll be like maybe 50 pips in profits at this point, but it's okay. So in this area right here, what is the 30-minute candle saying? Like based on this 30-minute candle, what will you believe that will happen? Just, you know, give me a straight answer, and then don't tell me, oh, I'm expecting a heavy drop to the downside. What do you expect with this 30-minute candle right here, with this one? This is the candle closing right before the NYSE. What do you think it will happen?
I just traded you only 1 week, so I'm new here. That's why I don't know.
No, but like I said, based on price action, if this candle is bullish, what do you think it may happen? It has
the next one will be bullish, yeah.
Yeah, so it has a lot of rejections. Previous rejections are coming from this area. Every time the price is rejecting slightly lower. Now this candle is closing bullish. This candle is not closing bearish like this one for me to consider sells. So what may happen here is a new 30-minute candle. 1 second here. A new 30-minute candle here can give me no, this one right here.
Okay, I'm out, Kerwin. Bye, Kadir. Have a good one. See you tomorrow.
Take care,
Take care, bro. Take care.
Enjoy, brother.
I'm leading some runners, so
beautiful,
we'll
beautiful. Well played, man. Well played.
Thanks, man. Take care, guys.
Nice. So, you know, based on that 30-minute candle, what I will think of NYSE is pull back first, continuation. But not with NYSE, but with any other time in the market, any other 30-minute in the market, price action, right? Not NYSE, but based on NYSE as well, I know that I have previous rejections in here, and NYSE can give me a push first, or a small drop, push, and then rejection. The moment that rejection is happening and price is not respecting this area, I will go for it because I know that I have beautiful move at least to this area overall. That's the nature of NYSE. I don't do anything, right? I don't do anything entering at the very beginning of this of the NYSE session, because look at the 1 minute here. Instantly will give you drop down in no time. This is the 29. So yeah, this is the 29. Main rejections are happening from this area and the 65. So if I enter at the very beginning of the NYSE, I will say, well, I am looking for a continuation. I need a pullback first and then a continuation, right? Other than that, I can wait first for the rejection and then the entering in the market. And look what happened with NYSE. That one right there. I don't have any business entering at the very beginning of the 30-minute candle, unless that 30-minute candle already did the retest. If that candle is doing the retest and giving me a close below this area, then I will consider my entry. That candle right there and this candle right here is the one giving me that specific move below this area. But at that point, I have information. I know the retest is being completed. Price would need to give me a pullback. I won't be considering, you know, taking a specific entry just at the beginning of the 5, like today. Today with the news, I was expecting a small pullback at least, so I can use that small pullback on a daily basis. This is something that you need to master in the market. Being patient will take you, you know, for a beautiful ride. Like for example, price moving, and then that candle giving you that rejection. That at that point, that area right there, no matter what, whoever decides to die as a president today, I don't care. That high needs to be respected. And price from there will give me a better risk reward. Now, if I don't have this push first and the candle reversing, breaking its own low, then I don't have any business taking impulsive. But when the move is being completed to the upside, instead of risking 50, 60, 80 pips in here, I'll be risking maybe 15, 20. I'm really picky, and at that point I'm aiming for a 1, 2, 3 in most cases. So if I can risk 10, 15, 20 pips in this area right here, I'll be happy because that's the way that I trade, and I'll be willing to close 50% in this area. At that point, I'm talking about 1-to-1 risk reward. But this 1-to-1 risk reward will take me for a beautiful ride for the rest of my session, because this 1-to-1 that I secure is giving me opportunity to have my stop loss here and let that trade play a little bit more. If I don't secure anything in here and I become greedy, that trade is reversing completely to my stop loss. Instead of being a dumbass and leaving that entire position running away from my pockets, you know, I'll be super pissed off if price come back to my stop loss, stop me out, and then continues down. That'll be something that you know, it took ages, it took months for me to figure it out how to trade gold during New York session. And in total honesty, that's the easiest and that's the safest way to trade gold during New York session. There's no other way. Like for example, when this candle is giving you this specific move in most cases will happen with the 1 and 1 or 2 minutes after the 1 minute candle has after the 5 minute candle has closed. This 1 minute candle right here. This is the 34, okay? That's the first 1 minute. At that point, this high right here needs to be respected. It's okay for you if that previous 5 close in here, it's okay for you trying to sell specifically this area right here when you don't have any pullback, or it's safer for you wait for the pullback and then use that specific information as a stop loss. What if instead of waiting for that pullback, that 1 minute candle, instead of closing like that 1 minute candle is reversing completely and closing inside this area, I'll be considering any sales. Why? Because this in the lower time frames, in the 5 minutes, in the lower time frame, like the 1 minute, is giving me formal fake out. And the next one, I can be lucky that the next one will do something, a pullback before the continuation. And I can be in a plain and simple range. And that's the easiest way to avoid trading in a specific range. That's the easiest, that's the simplistic way of trading. And that's, you know, that's pretty much it. The moment you have, remember, every time that pullback is being completed, the moment you have this high being established, you have 2 options at that point. I don't need, you know, here's the thing. I don't need everybody trading on the 1 minute, but pay attention to all the time frames. The time frames in here on TradingView, they're there for a reason. If you can apply the same knowledge from price action on the 1 minute, on the 5 minutes, hourly, 30 minutes, like I don't have, you know, I don't care if you use 30-minute candles as a confirmation before taking a position. I don't care if you use the high of the 30-minute candle as a possible entry and then use a 30-minute candle low as a possible stop loss. Yes, you'll be safer at that point, but guess what? Your risk reward is shit. Your risk reward is not worth it. Your risk reward, maybe you're risking 3 to get 1. And overall, for the long run, for the rest of your life as a trader, that won't make sense at all. That won't make sense at all. You're not gonna make it in this business. You need a good risk reward and having that discipline, not to enter just because price is moving one way or another. No. Sit on your hands, wait, chill, and then you'll be surprised how easy it is to trade. And don't over risk, because one of the things that you may be closing positions too early nowadays, if you're having a bad time at trading, is because you're putting too much risk on the table and you don't let those trades breathe a little bit more. No, just the moment you're getting a pullback, you're maybe entering at the very beginning of a 5 minute, and that 5 minute needs to do a pullback to a previous 50% of the previous 5 minute before the continuation. You just see the pullback, and since you're over risking, you'll be closing position, and then price reverse and start giving you the real move. Like for example, from this area right here, risking that specific with this specific high and having the break of that candle to be safe, that's even easier. But if you're putting too much risk, the moment price is reversing to your entry, since you're seeing the heavy red numbers in the platform, you'll be closing positions left and right, and you don't have any discipline. You don't trust your analysis. This is why many people tell me, man, I don't let the trades run, you know, to my TPs, even though later on the TPs are being hit. I'm saying, are you putting too much risk on the table? What is the way that you're taking positions? I mean, if you're putting too much risk on the table, price gives you a 1-to-1 risk reward. You don't secure anything. You let the entire position run because you want to promote yourself on the gram that you're holding a 100 pip trade, then you're failing. No. Trading is for your own self. You're not competing with anybody who's using 10 lots. You're not competing with somebody who's using 10 cents. You're not competing with any other than yourself. Trading is for yourself, for your ability of trading. You don't see me competing with anybody. I don't care if somebody is using one standard or 100 standards. No, I don't care. My life depends on trading, and I consider myself that I'm good at it because I don't over risk. I don't push too much risk on the table, and I don't care what other people are doing. Somebody may be looking for sells, somebody may be looking for buys, but if I don't have that information, I don't care what anybody else can be doing at that point. So going back to the question, when this kind of setup happen, it's easier for you to take that position. From there, you will have a steady moves and really nice and easy moves. This, in most cases, this, which is the breakout of the session, this candle, in most cases, I will say 90% of the times, that candle will be retested at any given point, you know, but price later on can give you more ideas, more structure. But this area right here is the safest way. That's the easiest way to take positions with NYSE. You can backtest all you want, and every time you will have it there. Every time the price is giving you a break below NYSE is giving you a break. What is this? Holy, I haven't seen. Oh, this is a 1 minute. No wonder. Yeah, no, I was like, nah, I'm looking for the next one, for the next NYSE. Next NYSE, this one right here, right? Yeah, this one right here. The previous NYSE, this one right here. Let's backtest this one right here. Why I didn't want to consider this trade right here? Look, let's move to the 30. This is the 30 right here. Right there. This is the closing. Yes, that's the closing. Look at the 30 minutes. Usually you want to see continuation of the 30, right? Or retest and continuation first, or retest and rejection. That's plain and simple. Now, what you have here, a 30-minute candle closing like this. I am willing to risk, let's say, to the top of that candle right there, to the top of this candle, 26 pips when a NYSE is around the corner, or can I wait for NYSE to give me the close? That candle right there is beautiful as a close. What do I need now? What I need is a pullback, and then use that high of that pullback before the continuation. Let's move to the 1 minute here. Where do I have a structure? Well, I have a structure in this area already. So risking from 66 to this area right here, I can wait for price leaving this specific area right here, and aiming for the bottom of the range, most likely. Bye, I love you too, babe. So, and after the pullback is done, this is the 34. So this is the candle that closed the first 5 minutes after NYSE pullback, and then continuation. See how easy it is? Now, if I enter here just because the 5 minute, how instantly I'll be in drag down in here. 16 pips. I'm not willing to do that. No, I can wait. If I have to be a cowboy, since I know how NYSE behave, this area right here, I can easily start selling. I think Kadir start selling from here that day, right, Kadir?
Bro, I missed what you were talking about. Sorry,
you
man.
You sold these you're holding that position, so you're already like 90 pips in profits.
No, I closed already.
Oh,
holy
we
man!
sold from that level.
Nah, I
We-
just
90
was talking with Mini. He had the same entry that I have.
Oh, okay.
But we talked before that. Okay, yeah.
So that
Kerwin.
day, the NYSE, you enter somewhere here when the pullback was going on, right? That
yeah,
day,
most likely. I don't remember now which NYC that was, but
Kerwin, I
the
remember.
NYSE from Monday, I think it was.
oh yeah. I exactly entered on that
Yeah.
pullback of the high.
Yeah.
Was a little bit risky,
1865.
but yeah.
Yes.
1865 we sold.
Yes,
This
exactly.
one
So
was my
from
entry,
there,
bro.
you have an easy job. At that point, you have an easier job looking for sales. You know,
But this won't be risky if you enter the without breaking the low of the previous
without
candle.
breaking the low,
Yeah.
it can be risky. It can be risky at any given point. It can be risky, but you have this information at that point. You don't need a 5-minute candle in this area high as a possible contention. All you need is price respecting this area.
Yeah,
So if price, let's say you take that position after let's say you want to be conservative, like in the lower times, and I am pulling the 1 minute because if you don't see these moves happening on the 5 minutes and pay attention to the clock to the right on the screen, then you need to be really careful. But after the pullback is being completed on the 5 minute, if that 5-minute candle is doing a retest to the previous one and breaking its own low, you can take it from here. Use a stop loss in this area right here, and 90% of the times will pay at least to the previous rejection area. 90% of the time, it's a good way to consider those buys. Like today, like from today, from the previous example, not the previous one, the buys that we had in this bottom area from the 40, I think it was.
That was a hard one, to be honest. I couldn't understand that.
But Kerwin, bro, like this type of entries don't take this, guys. I mean, this one.
No.
I would have closed my position if we break above here.
Exactly.
But you need that discipline to close that.
Yes, we are kind of advanced. So every time that we see this, we may try to catch that specific move. And I will say, if price is not respecting that high with the spread or whatever, or leaving this area right there, I won't be risking, because I can risk it from here. I can risk it maybe outside this specific area. But if price is not respecting this rejection, I'll be closing 50% and let the rest run and see what's up. But because the max pullback will be this high over here. And you can tell me whatever you want, but at this point, it's just prime entries. This is when the FU candle happened. Going to retest the confirmation of resistance. The same that happened with you have a confirmation of support. Like, for example, this candle right here. This candle. You don't wait for the second candle to close. This candle can pull back all the way up to here if she wants, before the continuation. You will find it. It's everywhere. That's why the 5-minute candles are really easy to understand. And this is the safest way to see the market. Look at this 5-minute candle. If you don't wait for the second candle to close, this candle right here, it tends to revert to retest completely that candle right there. This candle right here, it tends to reverse. But the moment
you can take those trades with the tight stop loss, and if it goes against you, just close it.
Yeah, Karen, I remember this NYC, and the enter, I take this almost the same enter as Kadir, but I was entered here. After the pullback.
Yeah. And
it was on the flip.
Yeah,
that's
on the
when
flip.
I enter here and I enter here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the entry, the safest for whoever is new is this one right here. After the pullback is done and the 5-minute candle, let's say, in most cases.
But one thing, doesn't bother you because we have a 30-minute candle previous. Doesn't bother you if it could be a lower
not
wick
really.
and then the flip? Or
no, not really, because price leaving that area after the retest is done, since the daily candle, previous daily is bearish, I go with the flow. I go with the higher time frame.
Okay.
Yeah, if it's if the previous candle, don't get me wrong, if the previous candle is bullish, a daily candle is bullish like this, NYSE may happen in this area. So this, you don't want to become a liquidity graph for NYSE. No. You wait for that candle to pull liquidity, and the moment that candle is doing the opposite, you're going this way. It's different. It's a different case scenario. That's why I don't want to do like a spreadsheet saying, oh, if the 30-minute candle is bullish, wait for pullback and go for bullish, because a 30-minute candle bullish can be presented from a previous daily candle that is bearish and do the opposite, go break that high and reverse completely, because it's just becoming the liquidity for NYSE, and the continuation for the daily, maybe a continuation for a 4-hour candle for the rest of the sessions. That's why.
And you know, Kerwin, bro, the thing also with like if guys are thinking like this was a little bit advanced entry, but you have to think about it. If I remember right, on this day, I mean, basically, I was planning like 1 hour before that. I was only looking for sales. Even when we had this move up here, I was pretty convinced about sales. And the moment I see this fake out, this thing being a fake out, I have enough confirmation. This is 1, 2, 3 5-minute candles, and the next one is just pulling back, and then that was a no-brainer at that point.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But you have to plan those really well.
Yeah. Before coming to the session, you need to have a plan. What is the main bias you have? Like, for example, I had my bias was sells below this area right here, but these freaking candles way too much in volume for me to try it, right? So what I'm gonna do, sit on my hands and wait. Then I was waiting for something creating support and leaving this specific area with this confirmation was really nice and valid. This candle right here, if you pull up the 1 minute here, you will notice. By the way, whoever is still looking for continuation, just pay attention what may happen. This is the area that needs to act as your contention area. If the continuation is valid, price will need to respect the 1846.80, basically, this area right here of rejection. And it makes sense to give you for the rest of the session that continuation to the 60s overall, right?
All right. I have a question. Okay. About the wick. Why you always wait for a wick first and then the break of the previous candle? Like, for example, today with the news, we didn't have that wick, but we have that beautiful continuation to the downside. So why you always wait for the wick? You know, sometimes the move just happen without the wick.
Yeah, and it's okay. I will miss those moves because based on my experience, if I don't wait in many cases, not that I need to wait for the wick. Like, for example, this candle right here, this is your support. In simple price action, if price is leaving this low, you can go for it, but you have preview reaction. Are you willing to risk with news something that may go, look, this area right here? Because after the move happened, it's really easy to say, oh, this is this and this is that. No, but based on
I saw
no,
that
I'm not referring
the,
to you. Don't get me wrong. I'm not referring to you. But if the candle is leaving that specific move, the options are that can break this low, come back to this area and reject really nice and easy. That candle right there didn't give you rejection, right? That candle right there is starting to give rejection. But if you don't have, like, for example, for me to take a specific trade, I need price action. I don't need like, for example, if the news were something that we can consider as good news or whatever, or bad news for the dollar, for gold, why that whole move is being corrected? You know, those are the things. That move from the bottom area is just needed to grab more liquidity, grab more retail traders.
Yeah, but okay. I'm not talking about normal market condition here. I'm talking about volume. When there is a volume in the market, you know, the move just happened, you know, sometimes without the wick. So that's what I'm talking about.
But for example, let's say today we didn't have news. Let's say today we didn't have news. Any other day, and you know, if you're already trading with me more than a week or so, you know that I don't need confirmations. In some cases, I don't need confirmation. I just need price action. And this candle right here is giving me my support. Now, based on the news, I am willing to sell here when I know that the news can easily give me a break and then a continuation to the upside. No, I don't need. I mean, the move from today, I'm okay. I missed the move, whatever. But if it was any other day, this is the classic move. This is support. If that support is being, the high is being respected and the low is not being respected, that means they were going down. Now it's news. I don't care. I don't need to trade the news. I leave those things for the Cowboys. I don't need to take positions of the news. I know that later on I will have plenty of information. The problem that I have here and why I didn't want to consider selling here, one, because it's news. At any given point, if you trade news, do this. Trade every new you have or any CPI and try doing that and tell me, backtest and give me that spreadsheet, everything, all that journal, bring it to me and tell me you took every CPI at the break of the support candle or at the break of the high of that support or at the break of the resistance, and give me those numbers and I'll tell you the truth. Most likely you'll be, blowing accounts if you're doing that, because in some cases you get the break of that candle, goes for a quick move and then reverse completely, goes back to your entry, retest high, and then continues to the other way around. Those are the things that I'm not willing to risk on a daily basis. If this was plain and simple market conditions, hell yeah, I'll be looking for this candle. And if this candle was maybe 30 pips or so, I'll be risking the opening of the candle. You have no idea how many times I trade, this kind of setups, but with less volume and without news, just because it's volume. Today, there was volume. Obviously, it's volume and it was news. But I'm not willing to risk too much when those news are happening, because based on my experience, I know those news tends to get corrected immediately. Like this candle breaking to the low and the next candle reversing completely, retest this candle, and then a possible continuation. It's there. I mean, if you pay attention every time, let's pull the 4-hour candle somewhere here. Let's see if we can get information from here. And it's, don't get me wrong. If you take that trade, take it. I don't, I like I said, I don't care if you took that trade. It played out really nice. It's okay. But if any other day that you have news and you do exactly the same thing and you get stopped out and you're suffering, don't come to me crying and saying, oh, but I took the same trade that I took before. Why this time it didn't play out? Yeah, it's it's plain and simple market behavior, is market manipulation. When was that move from the FOMC? FOMC must be this one right here. FOMC, this one right here.
Yeah, that was the one, bro.
That was the one, or
yeah, the second 4
hour.
4
hours. Okay, 4 hours right there. That's the 4 hour. Then the 5 minutes. Hopefully pull up the 5 minute here. Okay. 30. Okay. Look, this is your news. This candle right here is your news. Look at the size of the candle right there. Almost the same as today. And say what happened next. Those are the pullbacks I'm not willing to risk on average. I don't care. I miss the move. I'm a big man. I can handle that. I know that I will have tomorrow, I will have Friday, I will have the next week and the next month to trade. I don't need to go over risking on those moves. But this is the classic move for the news. This is classic. Price breaks, close below, but depending in volume, like if I had to risk it, this candle right here, if I didn't, that day I secure some in this specific area at the 40, I think it was, whatever. But this is
so you took that trade.
Huh?
You took that trade if you secure some.
Yeah, if I look something like this, I'll be taking that not this trade. I may be trading from this top. Any news like this, every candle that you see like this, those moves can easily be corrected in a whole before the continuation. And you'll be surprised why many retail traders start losing accounts, and it's because they don't wait for price to give them the idea, the specific moves that they want. And obviously, sometimes you marry an idea. You say, well, you know, I have to look for sales, and you don't pay attention to the other timeframes, and it's quite messy. It's quite annoying. This candle right here. This is news. This is the 9. Yeah, this is the 9. This is the news as well. That candle right there. Go to the 5 minutes there. The first, yeah, that's the first batch of orders. Look what happened here. Right there. Give me 1 second here. News. This is the nature of news. Push, liquidity, boom, down. You are retail trader, place buy stops, you get punished. You sell stops, you get punished because the spread happens really nice and easy. And see, whole correction. Are you willing to risk on those specific news? You know, 80 pips again? No.
No, man.
And the information is on the
again,
charts.
I guess. Yeah.
The information is in the charts. You will see. You just need a little bit more of experience when to hold, you know, hold yourself accountable for before taking those trades, because it won't give you a good return. This won't give you a good return on a daily basis. Like trading this specific candle with such volume with the news, no. In market condition, average market condition, like I said this morning, if it was in average market conditions, I know the price respecting the 50, that will give me plenty of moves to the upside, but it's not in current market. It's not a average market conditions.
Just another note to add. You're looking on M1 at this candle here, half 130.
130.
Shoot down like this. I enter here. No one was entering, but I did. That was a great idea.
You're talking to me, Jaro?
Long.
Oh, no.
I am long because 30 minutes.
Are you talking to me, Jaro?
No, Kerwin, he's not.
No, I don't think so, bro. Maybe he's recording something.
Oh, okay.
Mute him.
I did.
Looks good too.
Oh, maybe he's giving signals.
Yeah.
But no, I mean the move. This move was quite easy. Exactly the same. The 5 minute candle. You know, close bullish. Therefore,
can you reply this, Kerwin, and record it on the Google Drive? You know.
Yeah.
The whole move,
the information is there in the Google Drive. I have the other videos from yesterday as well. Look.
No, I mean with that reply option.
Oh, with the reply option?
Yeah, I got that one. That push.
Beautiful. Yeah, hold that push, because if that candle is managing to close, remember 20 pips to the upside, it's over
gonna
here.
Fly.
Yeah, but I put the TP on the 55, so.
Oh, okay.
So
I already got it.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
There you go. Pack your lunch. You're done for the day.
Yeah. It's okay. 2 more minutes. Just wait for that 5 minute candle closing. Let me see how many. Yeah.
But you should secure some because this is the last minutes of the 15.
Yeah.
So don't be greedy.
Yeah.
Don't be greedy.
You can reject as well and just entice everybody to buy.
Yeah.
Hey, Kerwin, do you have time for a question, or should I wait some time?
No, I have time. Just send the $5 over. And that's it. No, I have time. Go for it, man.
See you later, guys. I'm done
I
for
think
the day.
the trades you have
Take care,
lost
bro.
today, right?
What was that? I'm sorry,
Okay.
brother.
You know, Kevin, the trades you didn't take today due to the the explanation you are giving, right? Should have charged more than $5 per person.
Nah, it's okay, man. It's okay. Nah, it's okay.
Oh, so if you
Go
don't
ahead.
mind, Kerwin, can you switch to the 1 minute? I have that. And
Don't trade based on the 1 minute, okay? If you have to use them as a conference, it's okay, but don't do it today, because market is so much volatility in the market. You can do it, but not on an average day. Don't do it. Go ahead.
yeah. Can you go to the on the 8 8 a.m. 1 minute candle. 8 a.m. 1 minute candle.
8 a.m.
On the where Kadir did the trade, the buy trade on
give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Okay, the buy that Kadir has, that was somewhere here.
It is, yeah, exactly right there. Because what I have noticed from you, Kadir, and Sultan from the previous group also, you wait for a 1 minute candle close above, then the next candle does this pullback, creating like some sort of a structure here or some kind of a support, so that we can have like a double layer stop loss where we have like a round number, the 1840, and that structure on the 1 minute, which can be like on most of the times the previous low of the 5 minute candle. So that's exactly what I was waiting here. Price didn't do it. It just shot straight up. I couldn't get like everything was blinded to me except the stop loss, because if I said if I would enter right here, my stop loss will be right here and my TP will be 1845. So the risk to reward, it will be really poor to trigger the trade. So I need to have like always that mini pullback right here, so that I can put my stop loss right here and basically target 1845. It didn't happen. Price shot up straight up, and it, to be to be honest, it made me a little bit upset because everything was blind. The same thing happened above 8045 on the 1 minute. It basically it repeats a lot of time this entry right here. Break close, a really strong close above 8045, a pullback creating for us some kind of a structure so that we can base our stop loss, and a straight shoot to 1850. I don't know if you when you trade on the 1 minute, you are on purpose aiming for this kind of parameters that I just said, or it's like
yes,
luck,
I do.
or I don't know.
Yes, I do.
Because,
and it's basically because price action is the same. Like, for example, this candle right here is trying to take a breather right there. The 5 minute candle already did a pullback right there, right? If this candle managed to break this this high right here, 1 second here, like for example, and this is price action is the same. The worst thing that can happen here is that candle going and reversing completely and retest its own low. If it's retesting its own low, that means that it is heading downtown, and most likely is is becoming a fake out from that top of the range. But in some cases, when you have moves on the 1 minute, 5 minutes, 30 minutes, it's basically the same. It's just that the risk reward is higher when you trade based on a higher time frame. And as well, if you don't have discipline enough to consider, a specific trade, in most cases, in most cases, you will get easily confused with the 1 minute. That's why I don't want everybody to be paying attention not all of a sudden to the 1 minute when the volume is not there. Like for example, this is your resistance candle. If this candle managed to respect this low and break this high, it's going up. It's a no-brainer. It has to go up. Now the risk that you have to put on this trade right here it's a lot, in my opinion, considering that the price can go to the 70, but you can manage the trade. If price is reversing to this area, you can close 50. There's no doubt. But then, at this point, everything is looking like it's bullish. It's a non-stop train to the upside. See? So those are the things that before taking a trading consideration, remember the spread changes to the 20 pips in this area right here. Now, price goes to that area, doesn't give you a clean break and clean close above that area. You need to be really careful. This 5 minute candle, it's about to close. There's only 1 more minute for that 5 minute. That 5 minute and the next 1 minute has to do the job, the heavy lifting to this area. If it doesn't give you that, and then last minute is breaking its own low, then it's going all the way down to trade below that resistance, and this is becoming your fake out. But other than that, that's on a daily basis is always there. That the information is there.
it's just that if you can go the 8 a.m. 5-minute candle, I am like reviewing why I missed the trade and I couldn't like grasp an entry on the 5 minutes. If like without going to the 1 minute, how can we trade that buy on the 5 minutes to have like a decent risk to reward? And that's
give me 1 second here. I need to do something here on my chart because this is the trade that I didn't miss.
Okay,
he has to secure some.
Yeah, I'm securing some, and now my stop loss is roughly a break even. Yeah,
this was an easy one, bro.
Yeah, I couldn't resist to take that
yeah, me too.
Right there. Was way too easy for me.
me too, bro. That 1 minute doing 20, that pullback.
Spare 20 pips in change right there. That was good.
Yeah.
And now we're heading to the 60. Remember that the main target here will be the
can
60.
you explain how that was easy? You know, I feel stupid here that I didn't do that.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
1 minute gang.
I mean, technically it wasn't easy, bro, because it's a hell of a risk. But basically, what I did here, I risked a small a portion of that profit what I did on that previous trade, you know. And I've seen this a lot of times, so it's what is a little bit experienced trade. Let's say like that.
Kadit, when you say that you'll just look at 1 minute for a reversal, just a pullback and then a reversal, and then you'll take it on the go. That's how.
Yeah, what you want to see in situations like this. Look, it was a brand new 15-minute, right? At the first break, don't take it. Don't take it because you will be in instant draw on 10 pips, you know. Just like in this case, I think it was even more. Yeah, 20 pips is a hell of a risk. 20. So yeah, and don't jump in now because it's looking like your whole reversal now.
No. But the best play here. This is a trade that I didn't miss finally.
Because I tried it now with you guys, and then I was able to catch it.
Yeah, this was easy, bro.
Yeah, it was easy. It was an easy one. Okay, so going back to business here. So what happened here is that 5-minute candle. Remember, every time price is taking a breather, you have a continuation. What is the when you rewatch the session, maybe in the G drive, maybe tomorrow, whatever, remember outside this area you have 20 pips in a spare change to this area. I'll say this area right here. So this is the 56.15. We can easily set a 57. This is the target that I had, the 57 above the 50, the 55, because it tends to happen every day. Now you don't become, you don't need to be greedy. See, this is only the trade that I took. And how long I've been here talking and talking, almost 3 hours already. Almost 3 hours talking and 2 hours, whatever. About the same over and over again. That candle right there took that breather. What is my job? Waiting for the next candle to give me that pullback. This is my pullback. This is the area that price needs to respect. What is my option here? If I'm looking for overall the 57, look for pullback. If I can be a cowboy, if I can catch anything in here, risking maybe in this area right here to be safe, and I will have plenty of time if price is breaking this area, not respecting that low, but risking to this area right here, aiming to this area. Tell me, isn't that a good risk reward? Even though we're trading at the very top of the session of the daily candle, but based on my experience, I know this area right here will give me less headaches. The moment that candle is pulling back to those lows, I'm entering in the market instantly, in no time, 10 pips. From there, move to the upside, secure some, let the rest run. 57 is my overall target. I don't need to be greedy at that point, and that candle reverse. Tell me if this is not the simplistic way of taking trades. Now, we have volatility. Don't try this shit. Don't try this shit. And on any other day that you don't have volatility in the market. Is in session. Why do I trade is in session based on the 15 when I need to, when I have to, when I want to? Because is in session is a creepy ass session, doesn't have volume at all. So I need to move to a higher time frame. If it was less volume than nowadays, like when gold is moving maybe $5 on average on daily, what will be my best confirmation for New Year session? 15 minutes. What is the things that I do when gold is ranging too much? I move to the 15 minutes because 15 minutes will give me the best picture, the best idea. Now, in current market conditions, I can apply the same price action that I do on the 5 minutes on average market conditions to high volatility times on gold, right? So why not give it a try if I'm risking, this is my trade, 19 pips in a stop loss that I can easily manage at any given point, but at least I have the 5-minute candle, this one right here, which is taking the breather outside the previous rejection. This is my breakout candle, and it's okay to have up to a 50% of that candle in a possible pullback, right? But if it's giving me consistent information below this at this specific level, why not? Entering in here is a no, right? It's a no because I am going to risk 30. No. I need a pullback first. I need this specific pullback before the move, before the continuation. And this is my candle. This is the move that I needed. This is the move that I got. Plain and simple. No more than that. This, my pullback. Once the pullback is completed, I do have information from previous 1-minute candles, and I know that if price is leaving this specific area or maybe this specific area, I'll be closing that position, right? It's plain and simple. It's easy. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. No, nothing crazy. Now for me, risking like with the news, it wasn't worth it. Wasn't worth it for me. And I just need a little bit of a time and discipline to sit on my hands and wait for that trade. That was plain and easy trade.
Yeah, and that's why we said, like, basically you don't have to trade a news, just wait for that news to settle out and you can get easy trades afterwards most of the time.
Yeah, exactly.
So
like
maybe
that trade
when you say
on the 5-minute. Oh, I'm sorry. Go
Yeah,
ahead,
I know
go ahead,
what you mean more. Yeah.
Okay, like on the 5-minute, the 8 a.m. 5-minute that Kadir took, he took it like based on the 5-minute, not on the 1 minute, at 8 a.m. exactly. The buy trade.
No, maybe 9 a.m. This
No,
is 9. Yeah.
9 a.m. Yeah, I know what he means, bro. It's right. Yeah, that was the one.
This one.
You took it on the 5-minute, not going down like super low on the 5-minute.
No, I
was
watching the 1 minute because I wanted to see that pullback to that 37.7, like 38, 37 basically, at that 50% of the candle because I marked it. And then
the crazy thing, this candle did not like pull back. Once we had like this candle.
No.
This 5-minute candle.
Look,
he didn't took that candle. He didn't
no. Look,
let me
stay on the.
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Let me go back in time in here.
No problem.
Let's do this as in a proper way. I know Kadir is not taking the third candle. I know Kadir always watching because I know the way he trades as well. He knows the way that I trade. I know that Kadir already had a small push and candle reversing. That candle reversing. And the moment that candle, instead of reversing anymore, is moving like this, he's taking this specific move right there. And most likely taking a possible stop loss, a possible stop loss right there in that area. That's basically but he didn't wait for that candle to close. If he's waiting for that candle to close, he's losing time and he's losing money because after the pullback is completed, you don't need this candle to close. Yeah, you can risk it for the biscuit at the break, and the worst thing that can happen is going like that, or maybe giving you a fake move to the upside and closing like this. But you know that the stop loss is here. So the next candle that is breaking this low is going downtown or is rejecting that low and is going the opposite way. Go ahead, Kadir, explain the move.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, you explained it perfectly, basically.
No,
bro.
I know that's the way you took that trade.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, I learned it from you, bro. So that's the way, right?
Kadir, so look at this. Here. Instead of taking here, right? Why didn't you take it before that? Like there was a bullish rejection, right? On the first. So why didn't you take this? The previous one.
Oh, this one. Oh,
yes,
that's a
and
hell
then
of
the
a risk,
rejection.
bro. I don't
No,
mind that
and
because
then
look
like
at the
if you
time.
if you are taking an impulsive entry, right? So
Mhm.
this is a rejection, and then the next one also like picked up, right? So you could have taken it there, right? So
You mean why didn't I enter on the break of this one?
yes, correct.
Yeah,
And then-
that's basically look. If you have a, I mean, it's also because of
This is the timing.
yeah. So
This is-
Adir, can I try to explain?
I'm
Let me see if
confused.
I-
Everybody's
no,
talking right now.
No, I'm just thinking I'm thinking the right way. This
Yeah.
one here, first of all, it's going bullish, always bullish, and then flip bearish. That's why you didn't take it, at least in my opinion. And the other one, just instead of going bullish, first of all, come bearish, and then you enter on the right here once it break. I guess it's the difference, in my opinion.
I mean, you just have to look at the timing, bro. Just check the time, and it will be clear why I didn't take that.
Yeah, that's the main thing. You don't want, for example, you don't want to mess price action and forget about timing. Timing, it's
the most important
it's the
thing, bro.
most important thing in the market. You don't want to mess with timing. Timing must be perfect in the market. You don't, I mean, you cannot take a blink. I missed that move. I was kind of mad in total honesty because I was looking for that move. I was explaining whatever, that's my job. That's what I have to do, and that's okay. I missed the move. But I was
told
pissed
you,
off
bro,
because the
so
timing,
you don't miss it.
Yeah, the timing was perfect for this setup. Now, in this case, the timing is not the correct time. You know, you may get a move to the upside as well, a new 4-hour candle giving you entire wick till to the downside before the continuation. There's something that you need to be really careful with. If I have to take trades in the last 15 minutes before the 4-hour candle close, what I will do is looking for continuation, not looking for reversal.
Yeah.
You know, because here's the thing, it's hard and it's already late and I'm kind of hungry now. But if you have a 4-hour candle that is looking like this, it's looking like this, and it's leaving a wick to the downside currently, right? The last 15 minutes. In the last 15 minutes, you're not expecting this candle, instead of being like that, will do something like this. In the last 15 minutes, what you need on that candle right there, instead of giving you a massive pullback to the upside, all you need is plain and simple continuation. So in the last 15 minutes, you don't buy a candle. You look for continuation of that move because it can give you an extension of that move. You know, taking a trade like at this level, for example, looking for buys in this specific area when the 4-hour candles still have 15 more minutes, you're gambling because you're expecting that candle will do something like this to make it worth it. Trading in this area, risking this area, and having a stop loss here. This risky. It's a freaking hell of a risk. Now, this candle closing bearish with this area right here. When this candle, let me remove this thing right here. When this candle right here is your closing for the hourly, for the 4-hour candle, and the 4-hour candle just established a support. Therefore, there's a huge chance. It's a huge chance for that trade to do something like the max pullback will be this one right here, and you don't want to buy. Let's be clear on this. You don't need to buy at the opening of the new 4-hour. No, you wait for the 4-hour candle to give you a move, which is this baby right here, little tiny pullback right there. And the moment you have this pullback to maybe here, you know that the 4-hour candle is just respecting the low on the previous, which is this specific area from this area to this area right here is respecting. Therefore, you have previous rejection, and the only contention is that one over there. That candle can do something like this before rejecting, before giving you continuation, but you will have information at the very low of this candle, which is in this area right here. So taking a trade in here makes complete sense. Taking a trade in this area right here makes complete sense, at least to retest this area, and it's worth it. It's worth a try because in most cases, before the continuation to the downside, if the 4-hour candle still rejecting previous areas of rejections, you may have the luck of your life. A 4-hour candle will engulf completely the previous 4 hour. As timing must be perfect in the market. If you have to trade the last 30 minutes of a 4-hour candle, don't do it counter trending, something that is looking stupidly bearish. If you're trying to trade the last 15 minutes of a 4-hour candle, don't counter trend something that is looking strong bullish. Don't do it. Look for continuation. Look for continuation. In most cases, you will have 4-hour candles that are looking like this. In that case, you don't trade. You know, this specific move. You wait for that move to happen, or to wait for that move to happen to the upside, and then look for the specific correction in price if is aligned with what the daily candle and the overall bias is saying. This morning, this whole move to the upside makes complete sense. Complete sense. And this move from the 55, from the 57 is a must. 20 pips in a spare change right there. That's the only trade. I missed probably 100 and something pips from this morning. It is what it is. I moved to the next session. Even if I didn't have that specific move to the upside above that daily, I've been waiting for a specific move to retest the daily high. I was not even paying attention what price was doing along the way, all the way in this area right here. No, but I waited. I waited for my move to happen, and it happened. You know, that's pretty much it. What else I'm gonna do? Sit on my hands for the rest of the session, let the cowboy trades up and down, and you know, and being punished in ranges maybe, and maybe a whole correction to this area right here. Do I have any business trading here to this area right here? No, I don't care. Price can do whatever they want. They can easily go back to the downside again and give me a whole correction, and at the end of the day, that daily candle closing a hell of a bearish candle. I don't care.
I feel like that's what's gonna happen, bro, to be honest.
My discipline is, yeah, maybe. No, this daily will close, you know, the way it is, in my opinion. That will be beautiful to see, that daily closing.
Yeah, it would be good for us for the next days, because then we would have like solid confirmation at this point.
This daily candle closing above that 50, that will be good. That would be really nice and easy for us to look for a specific continuation to retest this area over all this 70 area, right there.
But bro, you know what I remembered when I entered this trade, bro? Let me see, when was it? Because we traded that live with you, bro.
I know that I have a lot of part in here. I need
29, bro. 29 March.
Oh. Give me 1 second, cause let me pull up some charts from my buddies right here in the chat. But even though I missed the moves, the big moves, it was a productive morning, to be honest. What is this?
Yeah, you got the easy one, bro, so it's still good, you know.
Okay. Sheesh, look at that. My goodness, I'm jealous now. Yeah, beautiful moves.
Oh, that's the news, right?
Yeah, that's the news.
Hey, Kelvin, can you hear me?
Well, holding more than the news. Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So before New York opening, the price got rejected from the same area. And right now, after the correction, it is rejecting from the same area. So what do you think if the price is leaving 1850 point or 1850 area? Again, the price is going down towards 1830s, because the price got rejected twice from the same area and the fake out above.
No. What I will think of is a possible break below the 50 later in the session, price reversing from these specific rejections areas, most likely being trapped in this specific range right here. And that will be the range for is in session. Most likely is in session will give you pushes, some form of push, you know, to the 60s overall. Overall, the move still bearish in the weekly, in the monthly, whatever. But this whole correction from the news and mean this area right here being rejected was really nice. Now moving one way and another, it is telling me that we may don't see more than this 49, 48 area. The main rejections are happening from this area overall. This, yeah, it's a little bit 47 area basically. So pullback makes sense to the 47, being trapped in this range right here. And the moment later you have moves outside this 55 again, then it's going to the 60. It will retest the daily high, which is in this case is this area currently, and then overall going to the 60. The main structure we have in this area, and the heaviest contention is this one right here, the 64 area. You know, if you want to call it somehow a key level, 65 area. So taking position from the 50s to the 60 to the 50, 65 is worth the shot for the rest of the week. It's just a little bit tricky because it's only Wednesday. Tomorrow, the daily candle from tomorrow will tell the story. If the weekly will start ranging inside this area again, or if the weekly will make it outside the 65 to give you a 75 overall, because on the dailies and 4 hours, 74, 75 area is the top of rejections. For some reason, TradingView is acting weird. This area right here. This area right here is the top of rejections. So the weekly candle can easily make it to the 64, but in total honesty, 64, 65 will be the pullback that I may need to start trading Friday session. You know, pull back to the 65 like tomorrow, Thursday, giving me a push outside this area, then most likely is giving me you know, a possible continuation to the 65, and 65 needs to hold pretty strong, because if 65 doesn't hold strong enough, it's going to take, it will take a breather here, and not only this weekly candle, but the next weekly candle can give me a hell of a move to the upside. This one right here, and I won't be surprised if at that point that monthly candle is not respecting his own high, which is in this area overall, this 1900s basically. That 1900s needs, you know, I won't be surprised if price makes it outside the 70, the 75 in the 4 hours and daily candles. Man, that any daily candle can take you from the 75 to the 1900s in one single session. 200 pips is nothing for gold in a single session when the weekly candle is pulling liquidity. Remember the weekly candle here? The weekly candle, it's in this specific area. This is the weekly candle high right there. So if that weekly candle is, instead of that massive candle, which is heavy bearish, it's pulling liquidity, man, going to the 1900s, it can take no time. But, you know, like I said this morning, to be a Wednesday today, still pretty risky planning long term with that weekly, because the weekly can easily go back to the daily can go to the 60, but 60 holding a strong resistance, and then tomorrow a possible bearish candle, and then Friday taking over for another batch of sells to the downside. But for now, I think the job is done. You know, moves to the downside makes sense up to that specific rejection area, this specific area of rejection. You know, but price reversing from there, you don't have any business taking more trades for the rest of the session.
Thanks, Kerwin. Thanks. It was great.
Right. See you tomorrow.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah, call it a day at this point.
Yeah, sorry. One last question. So, any reason why the NYSE didn't continue the flow? Like it just reversed back right after touching 159 or something. 158, 159, right?
Yeah. Why NYSE didn't continue?
Yeah, the trend. Like no. After the
trend
correction,
to the downside or to the upside?
Upside.
Upside. Well, this is a dangerous. We're still trading against a weekly candle and a monthly candle. But what makes sense, that specific move, 20 pips, not to the 57, but to the 57 right there. That move was quite easy. Now, this candle right here is giving you rejection. This is a plain and simple range. Whoever wants to trade inside the range, just be really careful here, because this area can easily hold strong as a possible support. This pure price manipulation You know, you need to understand there's easy days in the market. There are days that you can consider not to take any trades. And there are days that you can trade left and right, sells, buys, name it, range. You can trade whatever you want. But today is one of those days that you don't need to be feeding the market. If you had the move maybe from anywhere here and to this area here, secure the most. Don't risk it anymore because this is the bottom of the range. I am considering taking more buys in here. No, I don't need that stress. I am, you know, I'm really good in profits with my 20 pips, which is really easy. And I'm happy with it. You know, at least I didn't lose money today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you, Kerwin?
Good,
Thank
man.
you, Kerwin, for everything for today. Thank you very much.
No
See you
problem,
guys
brother.
soon.
No problem.
Yep. Cheers.
Hey, welcome.
Good morning, bro.
Hey, Mansoor, the man
Hey,
from
man.
Winnipeg.
Yeah, how are you doing, man?
Good, my brother. Good. Nice to hear you, man. How you been?
Yeah, I'm great. I'm great with the grace of God. Thanks.
Awesome.
So, how was that today? Is it
Man,
great?
it was great. It was cake. It was great. I missed the best moves this morning, but it's okay. I can do with it.
Okay.
For every other move you got, bro, Kerwin, so it's fine, bro.
No, it's been.
Rather, he is the maestro.
Yeah, Kerwin is the master of not missing any moves, bro.
Yeah,
He doesn't miss
today-
anything, bro.
He
Today
took
you're-
always 100% margin.
Yeah.
If you see a
today
move
Ker-
on gold, $5, $10, you know Kerwin got that move, bro. Doesn't matter which session, bro.
He is not interested in the $5 to $10 moves. He's looking, minimum
Yeah.
100 pips, 200 pips.
That's the way.
Kerwin es el mejor.
Gracias. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm not the best, but I try my best.
Es el jefe de los jefes.
Kadir, brother, have you got any sim sessions planned?
This
By
week?
the way, Kadir, if you're planning any Zoom session, you know what I'll do? I'll give you my
Zoom?
my Zoom link. I mean, I will add you to my Zoom membership, so you can do your Zooms without coding. You can do 24 hours. It's up to 300 members.
That's good, bro. Yeah, that would be perfect.
Okay.
Last time it was a little bit tough, but
yeah, I know you guys.
Someone managed to give his Zoom, give a Zoom link. We did that like that, but yeah.
Okay.
Kerwin is a good idea, basically.
Yeah.
If Benny or Kadesh, anyone is interested to have, in another session.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are looking and someone else is looking for Asian or something.
Yeah. And don't feel pressure, Kadir. In total honesty,
lot of
we are
newcomers
like
there.
almost 300 members. So any of these guys,
Mashallah.
you guys can they can set up sim sessions, and you can assist them as well, Mini or whoever wants to assist them. Matthew, whoever is around, they can easily take initiative, like just going for a sim session.
Yeah, because guys, I mean, when I know in TLS, I was like 2-3 weeks in TLS, and I tried to do a sim session back then, and bro, I had some like back then I was my skill was also not there yet, and I had a 3 or 4 months break of trading, and I did a sim session, and I mean, I'm an extrovert, so I don't really care what anybody thinks.